Quick one for you. E3 has been cancelled. You've probably heard this before. I didn't mean to go over it, but I'm going to go over it now. Is it time for E4? No. There's so many events now that kind of overwhelm E3 that it was about time, I guess. I did enjoy E3, but it's a shame because I did still enjoy watching it, as ridiculous as it was, but it got a bit pompous over time, I think. And it came a little bit irrelevant, and it sort of like it felt like almost all of the events that they had were filled with the employees of the company that it was for, and they were just screaming and hollering and hollering, and it was so sort of, I don't know, off-putting, I think. Not to mention they had these grandiose moments, and I say grandiose, I don't think it is really grandiose. Thank you, DAC. Um, where they would have like some guy playing a pipe for about 6 minutes, or some orchestra going on for about 10 minutes, and it's like a video game show. But so much of it ended up becoming like this sort of musical fest. If you've ever watched the E3s, especially the recent ones, that's kind of how they did it. They killed off like the first 10 minutes, and then within like the hour long show that they had for like PS or Xbox, they would have like probably about 20 minutes worth of music or something like that. And yeah, sure, it can be related to music, to gaming and stuff like that, but it's like people were there to watch actual video games, not just listen to the music that was made in video games, let's face it. So, yeah. Almost a year after announcing its return, the Entertainment Software Association announced today to its members that this year's Electronic Entertainment Expo E3 has been cancelled. IGN can confirm. Two sources have confirmed to IGN that the organization announced the cancellation via an email sent out to its members today. The email said that while E3 remains a beloved event and brand, that the 2023 version simply did not garner the sustained interest necessary to execute it in a way that would showcase the size, strength, and impact of our industry. That almost suggests that maybe they're going to skip a year and come back next year. It doesn't seem to say that it's completely out of the way yet. The ESA concludes the email by reiterating its commitment to advocacy work. It does not mention undertaking the show again in future years. But it's not necessarily off the table. Following IGN's report, the ESA issued the following public statement from Kyle Marsden, Kish, Global VP of Gaming. This was a difficult decision because of all the effort we and our partners put towards making this event happen, but we had to do what was right for our industry and what's right for the E3. We appreciate and understand that interested companies wouldn't have playable demos ready, and that resourcing challenges made being at E3 this summer an obstacle that they couldn't overcome. I feel like this is BS, obviously, because COVID has kind of been and gone. At least it's still around, but, it seems to have been overcome for the most part. So that excuse would hold more water a couple of years ago, I would say. But companies are more than prepared to sort of be ready for E3 if it was going to go down. It's just I don't think they were ready to support it, like they say. For those who did commit to E3 2023, we're sorry we can't put on a showcase you deserve and that you've come to expect from ReedPop's event experiences. The press release adds that ReedPop and the ESA will continue to work together on future E3 events. The event was supposed to be held from June the 13th through to June the 16th at the Los Angeles Convention Center and would have been the first in-person E3 event since 2019. The event was cancelled in 2020 due to the COVID. And while the digital version was held in 2021, the event was again cancelled in 2022. Blimey. In an effort to focus on a revitalized showcase. Yeah, well, that didn't happen, did it? So I guess they're kind of just realizing that we probably won't push forward with it. E3's return for this year was announced last June alongside the confirmation that E3 2022 had been cancelled. The news came as big multiple names in the industry from Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, more recently Ubisoft, announced that it would not be attending E3 in any capacity, with most opting to host its own digital showcases. IGN has reached out to ESA and ReedPop for comment. I wonder how much it costs to get like an advertisement or a showcase in E3. I think it was a lot of money. And I think that's probably a lot of what killed it, is it wasn't worth it. You're spending almost more money in marketing than you are actually getting anything from that marketing. So all the money that goes into it, it's like trying to get like an advertisement during the Super Bowl or something like that. You're just going to unless you're like a really big company that can afford it, it's just probably not going to work out in your favor. There's a funny bit here. Jeff Keighley being brutal. So IGN say breaking E3 2023 has been cancelled. And then right after that, 3 hours later, Jeff Keighley says, join together to celebrate what's next in video games. Summer Game Fest returns live Thursday, June the 8th. Streaming live everywhere. You think that's June the 8th as well, isn't it? So this was saying that this was going to be June the 13th. So he's like getting in there anyway before E3 would have happened. And he has been doing his video game awards show for quite a while now with the Summer Game Fest as well. So that's basically replaced E3 as far as probably many of us are concerned. So you still get your entertainment for the video games that are being created in the upcoming years, and they can be broadcast live at that event and many other events, because I checked this out. 16 biggest gaming convention in the world from smallest to largest. So this made me think a little bit. So you've got QuakeCon, that's 10K, Game Developers Conference 17K, MagFest 20K, BlizzCon, which I've been to, and there was tons of people there. It's ridiculous. He's always walking through a sea of people, 40,000 people, and I thought that was crazy. But the numbers just get absolutely ridiculous. E3 would be the 65,000 if it was happening. PAX, that's 70K. EGX, 80K. DreamHack, 100K. San Diego Comic Con, that's 130,000. Then you got this Igro Mir, 150,000. That's showing off PlayStation and all that business. Spiel, so that's play in German, 200,000. Looks like board games and anything that constitutes a game by the looks of it. And then there's China Joy, 270,000 people. Like, just put this in perspective. If anyone's been to BlizzCon, 40,000. 40,000, right? People there, and it is packed. Loads of people. China Joy, 270. How big is this place? It must be like absolutely huge to have 270,000 people. Can't be. Tokyo Game Show is 270K. Then Brazil Game Show goes to 300K, 320K for Taiwan. And Gamescom is 370,000. So it's just incredible. And obviously there's so many events happening that I think a lot of us probably thought it's just a matter of time before this would happen to E3. So definitely a shame, because I did enjoy watching E3. It was like a little bit of a treat, you know. It would come up, you just watch it. The thing that I didn't like was what I mentioned earlier, which was like these stupid musical bits that, for me, it doesn't do anything. It's just, if you're going to use those, 1 to 2 minutes tops, make it snappy, and then boom, introduce the game that it's supposed to be emphasizing. Don't do this 5-minute long horrendous musical bit that doesn't even sound good in the first place, and then that just sort of really takes you out of the feel and you sets you in a bad mood, because whatever they're going to show after that musical bit happens, you're not in the mood for it. You're just already pissed off at that point. I was. So yeah, we'll see what really happens from this, but I think it has already happened, and it's basically the Video Game Fest and the Video Game Awards has basically replaced E3 for like the last few years now at this point, and is continuing to do so. So that's it. Just wanted to chat about the E3. So let me know what you think about E3 being gone.